we get to the fun stuff, we got to rip this stupid band-aid off right away. On Friday, the Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy was arrested Friday night for quote assault against a family member by impeding their breathing or circulation, according to reports. And on Saturday, it was announced that he will not be charged. It doesn't mean that he's not going to be suspended at some point. The Chiefs already are waiting for a suspension to come to Rashee Rice, so they could be down two wide receivers for an undetermined number of games. And what the hell is it with, you know, dumbass wide receivers doing dumbass things, illegal things? I just this is just another one to throw onto the pile, man. Yeah. So not fun. I hate that we even have to mention it. But I just feel like if like just all things aside, we have to at least put it out there, let everybody know that a suspension may be coming, man.
As the resident
You know,
Eagles fan,
yeah,
I don't always get to be an asshole Eagles fan because I'm probably the nicest Eagles fan you'll ever meet. But
right,
just choking on the field, choking off the field is kind of what I'm feeling here.
right, yeah. So I mean, I'm glad nobody was actually like, like murdered or anything. Like this is. It sounds like he, got into an altercation with a family member and started choking him a little bit, is what it sounds like. And then they're not pressing charges. So Texas, man, it has happened in Texas. So
So
crazy. All
Deshaun
right.
Watson,
Yeah.
and then you got now Xavier Worthy on this mix here.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know what's in the water in Texas, but maybe chill out over
Um,
there, huh?
yeah, I don't know. We could have gone a whole separate way right there, and I almost did. I'm going to stop myself right now, but those of you that know me know exactly what I was thinking. So we'll just go ahead and move on. Um, let's talk about the fun stuff. We got free agency starting now, and also teams were able to start negotiating with their own players even beforehand. Right off the bat on Tuesday, the day after we recorded last, Tyler, your boy, secured Saquon Barkley for 2 more years, $41.2 million contract. He's the first running back to ever make 20 million plus a year.
I
So
will say
well earned.
that yeah, he earned every penny of that.
Mm-hmm.
His attitude on and off the field, he earned every bit of that. I
Yep.
do think it's crazy that we signed him last year and then restructured his deal to for an extended contract the first year into it. Like that doesn't happen. I can't recall the last time it's ever happened. But JJ Watt, had some words of wisdom. I don't know if this is necessarily about this situation, but he made a good point, and I want to say that he tweeted out or X or whatever the fuck you want to call it nowadays.
It's
Uh,
tweet.
reward your players early and reap the benefits in the long run. Dragging it out only ends up costing more. It creates unnecessary tension. The longer you wait, the higher the price. So, not to say that Barkley was going to be a higher the price situation, given that he was already under contract with us, but the point of reward the guys, man. They earned it, and reap the benefits later.
Mhm.
Maybe Saquon does hit that bad side of 30, in the couple years down the road, but he earned every pin of it, and we got a Super Bowl win out of it, and I can't be upset with that.
Absolutely. It was the move that it's the move that won you a Super Bowl, and you have the room, you have the money, cash them out, well done. Sam, you got a couple of notes for your Raiders. This is before free agency even started, really. So let's talk about it. First off, the Raiders signed Max Crosby to a massive $106.5 million extension, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league at the time. I'm sure that will fall by the wayside by the time we're all
It
done
already
and the
has.
dust settles. But at for about 4 days, he was the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. Um, Obviously, another well-deserved, well-earned contract for Mad Max. Go off.
I mean, absolutely great signing. It's a relief that they're not going to trade him. What John Gruden did with Khalil Mack, who's probably going into the Hall of Fame. When it's all said and done, the Raiders let a Hall of Fame linebacker, edge rusher go. and he's still playing at a high level. So thank God that's not happening with Max Crosby on his new addition. Well deserved. Um, I think as a story, he's one of my favorite stories as a player. With his addictions and battling those addictions and being so honest about it, and to be rewarded, not just for his play on the field, but for the person that he is. Very excited that the Raiders retained him. So all good here on that one.
Right. Another move a couple days later. You got your quarterback, Geno Smith, traded to the Raiders for a 2025 third round pick.
It's a
Raiders are going
nice
to be on the
bridge.
hook. Yep, Raiders are going to be on the hook for the remaining 31 million left on Geno's contract. So, yeah, a nice bridge. We know that Pete Carroll loves him, so
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. He knows the playbook already. So yeah, this is Pete's
I think
guy.
he's
Yeah.
comfortable with Pete.
Mm-hmm.
You got a new offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly. So Chip is, as a head coach, we've talked about it before. Not a very good head coach at the NFL level. He did win a lot of games when he was at Oregon, but his career as an offensive coordinator, he's running a pro style offense now. So if you watch Ohio State, he's evolved. He's not running the same stuff that he was doing at Oregon, Philadelphia, and even in San Francisco. Uh, I think the Raiders, they got a good quarterback. Is he a top five? No, I don't even think I would put him in the top 10. But you
Yeah.
got a 4,000-yard passer, a guy who can run around and make plays happen, extend plays. The Raiders have some decent wide receivers. You could throw Brock Bowers into there, who's a very exciting rookie. And then you still got the number 6 overall pick. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback in the first round. I do expect the Raiders to take a quarterback later in the draft, maybe round 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. I think now with the Geno Smith trade, you could go out and like draft the number 1 rated wide receiver or even take the running back. And with retaining, we'll get to it a little bit later. There was some other players that were retained for the Raiders. So you have a wide open playbook to take at number 6. So really excited for what the Raiders do. And Geno Smith is not the quarterback of the forever future. He's definitely a short term, quarterback for the Raiders until you can get that young guy, franchise guy in there. But I like it for the next 2 years, um, you know, for the Raiders.
Right on. And then earlier today, you added safety Jeremy Chin. He was a Commander. He's now a Raider. 2 years, 16 million. I think that's a solid pickup.
Good pickup, great
Yeah.
value for what he got, financially. I think Trayvon Morrig was a better player, better all around player.
Mhm.
But you see what he got. He got 3 and 51, I think it was, or something
Yeah.
close to it. So the Raiders, even though they have a lot of cap room, you don't, New England is going gangbusters. They have won the free agent Super Bowl already. We haven't talked about all their players, but I feel like it's sad to see Trayvon Merritt go and some other players go. Robert Spillane for the Raiders, and it's definitely going to be interesting how they fill those gaps. But you get a solid player in Jeremy Chin, and a third of the price.
So
Right.
two things happened that it's not on here, and I just want to adjust it because I can't type fast enough. Um, Robert Spillane is now going to be with the New England Patriots.
Yeah, he got paid too.
He got
Yep.
paid. I didn't see the contract deals here, but I think that's a big loss. I think given the nature of the Raiders defense now, but I want your take on that. Do you think that's a bigger loss? Do you think that's an okay loss at this point?
I think there's two ways to look at it. One, as a fan, it's really sad because he's been a fairly consistent player over the past couple of seasons. He's been with the Raiders, and I think hey, he got the Patriots paid him because they see a lot of potential there. And of course, I would have loved to see him stay with the silver and black, but I think he got paid, and you're not going to be able to pay all these guys. They did re-sign Malcolm Kuntz. They re-signed Adam Butler on a more economical deal, I'll say. But I think the other side to look at it is who's the head coach of this football team? How many linebackers has Pete Carroll developed over his career? So I think the thought is, hey, we love Robert Spillane. We love what he did for us. We would love to have him come back for the future. but there was a certain price point, and that the Raiders with John Spytek, they're going to stick to their budget, they're going to stick to their plan, and I also think they're going to rely on their coaching staff to find some players in the draft. And let's not forget for all the teams that we really enjoy watching. Um, the Raiders are going to get two consumptory picks. Um, so they're going to get I believe, a fourth and a fifth for the two free agents that they lost so far. So I think the Raiders front office are looking at it as we're we lost some good players, but we're also getting draft picks, and we could develop players along the way.
Right.
So also too, your general manager John Spytek is showing that he's got some grooves with in the familiarity in this league as well. Uh, the Raiders also signed offensive lineman Alex Kappa from the Cincinnati Bengals on a 2-year, $11 million contract. Just kind of hit that home that what we talked about last of trying to build that O line. Now that you guys
Yep.
have that quarterback centered, I think this is a good pickup for you guys. Is there something that you'd like to see going forward in the draft or the rest of free agency? Would O line be something you'd want to address more, or you want to keep going at the defense?
I feel like in the draft, I would love to get another offensive lineman probably in the second round. In the first round, I would still love to see a wide receiver. So if McMillan's available at 6, I think that is a dynamic playmaker that you can insert in. I think he's a Puka Nacua type. So he's going to be a big body guy that can get physical. And then I think, it's not making the news right now, but I would not be surprised if Tyler Lockett ends up with the Raiders as well. He's not, a top-notch player, but he's consistent, and he's still a little bit of juice left in there. So I would like to see that pick up just from a consistency standpoint and veteran leadership. And then in the draft, I want to see a running back, maybe two running backs. And just continue to build the line. That's where I'm at. And then whatever free agents they can get that they think that fit in. Um, I definitely feel like my final thought on the Raiders to close the free agents thing is I trust their plan. It didn't, obviously we're playing Madden. We would keep all of our favorite players because of all that. But this is the real world, and you got to have a plan. And I feel like I trust in the plan. I believe in the plan. I've been saying this since Pete Carroll got hired is before you learn how to run, you got to learn how to walk. And right now, they just need to be competitive. And I know Seattle traded a 10-win quarterback, and that's not good enough. And they're going to take Sam Darnold. The Raiders just need to get to 11 wins. They just need to become a perennial contender, making the playoffs, winning the division. So I like everything that they're doing. I trust the plan. I love the culture reset that Pete Carroll and Spytek are doing.
Agree. Great. Well, Vince, have you had your sip of water? Do you, if you need me to tap in, bro, you just,
No,
hit the side of the rope and you let me know.
yeah. No, all right, all right. So let's go. We're gonna rip through a lot of these, and when we get to the Niners stuff down toward the bottom, sure we can talk about it a little bit more. But there's some fun stuff for me before it even gets to the Niners stuff. The Seahawks, like Sam, you mentioned, they are releasing Tyler Lockett after 10 seasons, so he will be available to be signed by somebody else, maybe the Raiders, maybe somebody else. We'll find out. The Jaguars are trading wide receiver Christian Kirk to the Texans. The Seahawks are going to trade Metcalf to the Steelers, and the Steelers give him a 5-year, $150 million extension. Seahawks get the Pittsburgh 2025 second round draft pick in exchange.
I have a question on
And
that. I have a question on
I
that.
love the Seahawks being worse. It makes me
Yeah,
very happy to have them be bad.
it
I
hasn't been
genuinely.
announced though. Is you guys think Russ is going to stay with the Steelers? I don't think I've saw anything that's
We haven't seen anything like that. We'll get to the other quarterback in there, right? There's a couple other rumblings happening. We'll get to them as I read the list. The Chargers are going to release Joey Bosa after 9 seasons.
Future
Mark,
49er.
yeah, the Confederate brothers can link up in San Francisco. That'll make me feel real freaking great. Ugh, gross. Anyway, Marquise Hollywood Brown re-signs with the Chiefs for a 1-year contract, 11 million. The Saints and Derek Carr agree to convert most of the $40 million still owed. to a signing bonus for salary cap purposes, he will be in line to start for New Orleans in
Smart.
2025. And then after
Smart.
that, I think he's gone. So they got the money to do it now. They might as well, right?
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
If you're the Saints, you kind of have to eat it this year,
Mhm.
and then hopefully next year, if you do trade them or cut them, you got some cap relief for the future. But they are stuck.
Yeah, they I believe the scientific term for the amount of cap money they have is hella. So let's see what else. Zach Ertz is going to re-sign with Washington on a 1-year deal. He can get up to 9 million in incentives. Aaron Jones is going to re-sign with the Vikings on a 2-year, $20 million deal. Devontae Adams signed a 2-year, $46 million contract with the Rams. 26 of that 46 is guaranteed. That's a bit of a bummer for me. Uh, the Bills and Josh Allen agree on a 6-year, $330 million extension, $250 million guaranteed. That's the largest ever guaranteed money to a player in the league's history. Um, Good on you, Josh. Haley Steinfeld needs a new ring too, so get on it, son. Chris Godwin is going back to the Buccaneers, 3 years, $66 million contract. Sam Darnold is going to be the new quarterback in Seattle for a 3-year, $100 million contract. I love that for the Niners.
I still
I
think
think,
it's
yeah,
crazy that we could probably all agree that when he was with the 49ers, that was probably what we all considered the end of him seeing a starting time on the field. Then he goes to Minnesota, redevises his whole career, and gets a fat contract. Like,
yeah, yeah. You're
I
just
mean,
an
an
injury
amazing
away.
golf clap, amazing
Yeah,
story
you're an
for
injury
Darnold, man.
away from getting paid, like
Hmm.
from your shot. And he took advantage of his shot in Minnesota, and now Seattle is making a 3-year mistake. So good on him. Uh Elijah Mitchell is going to Kansas City. I didn't get the money details on that one, but he's injured a lot. He was, former Niner. I know that he's pretty good. He's pretty electric. He's pretty fast. But if he can stay healthy, he's gonna help them. But I don't know if he can stay healthy. Uh,
It was
Samaje P. Ryan. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
what was
it
that?
was 1 year, 3.5 million.
1 year, 3.5. I knew it wasn't that much. Samaje P. Ryan to Tampa Bay, 3 years, 22 million. Justin Fields is going to be a Jet, 2 years, 40 million. Uh, sure, okay. Yeah, I don't love that deal for. I love that deal for Justin Fields. Get your money, and he's going to get another chance to start. Whatever. Josh Palmer, wide receiver, is going to Buffalo, 3 years, 36 million. Half of that guaranteed. The Browns are acquiring Kenny Pickett from the Eagles for Dorian Thompson Robinson and a 2025 fifth. Um, good.
Hey,
You know what?
hey! You put respect on Kenny Pickett. He is a Super Bowl champion. He kneeled
Super Bowl
down.
champion, baby
He
hands
kneeled
Pickett.
down and won us
Mhm.
that Super Bowl.
That's right. He was the quarterback on the last play of the season.
Dude,
You
okay,
know,
can we real quick? I know that this is like a big free agency frenzy, but
right.
I was talking about this with my barber last week. When is the last time you guys watched a Super Bowl that they brought in the backups?
It's been a while. Normally those games, even if they are blowouts, they get real close. They get a lot closer at the end. And sometimes you come back from 28-3. Uh, so it's been a while since I've seen backups in a Super Bowl. Intentionally, not because of
That's
injury or something, right?
just
Um,
thinking about that, man. That's fun. Anyways, let's
yeah.
keep going.
Anyways, Josh Dobbs is going to be the backup in New England now, a 2-year deal over there. Cornerback Charvarius Ward to Indianapolis, 3 year, $60 million contract. This is a former 49er. We kind of knew he was going to be gone because just emotionally off the field. Um, this is like, he lost his child, and he just has a lot of really bad memories off the field stuff. And then like fighting the injury too a little bit. Just not I didn't expect him to come back. I figured he was gone, and Indianapolis was happy to give him 20 mil a year for the next 3 years. So good on you, get your bag. And I nothing but the best for him. He played well for the Niners, and I totally get it. If you have really bad memories of a place, like, um, best to get your mind right and get out of there. So nothing bad I can say about that. Something bad I can say is Zach Wilson is going to Miami to be the backup quarterback, 1 year, $6 million. That's one play away from having to rely on Zach Wilson for Miami, and that can't feel good.
Dude, that's rough.
Darius Slayton, wide receiver, is going to return to the Giants. 3 years, $36 million. Get your bag. Mac Hollins going to New England, 2 year, $8.4 million contract. $2 million in incentives can get it up to $10 million. Javonte Williams, running back, was in Denver. Now will be going to Dallas. 1 year, $3 million contract, and now I can boo him with all the ferocity that a Cowboy deserves.
I don't want to give Dallas any credit, but that's probably one of the most solid
Yeah,
pickups that they've done in
uh,
quite some time.
honestly, like they needed running back help, and if he can return to what he was before the knee injury, that is a steal of a signing.
Yes,
To be
agreed.
fair, I don't think he will return there, but if he can get better than what he was last year, um then yeah, then it's definitely a plus for them. So unfortunately, possibly a good move. um Former 49er Tanaloa Hufanga is going to Denver on a 3 year,
Ouch.
$45 million contract, $30 million guaranteed. Denver's spending a lot of money. Last season was kind of a lost season for Hoof. He, like he was coming back from the leg injury, and then he broke his arm, and then it was um, just kind of a rough one for him last year, but all pro player, and hopefully, he has a return to form. Uh, Aaron Banks going to Green Bay, the former 49ers guard, 4 years, 77 million. That's that's more than the Niners were able to pay, and Green Bay thinks he's ready to, like he's gonna help them, and help Jordan Love
Let's
and
let's
everything.
let's let's take a second here real quick. So Hafunga gone, Aaron Banks gone.
Mm-hmm.
Trent
Couple more
Williams
gone.
is Trent Williams is, we'll say he's probably getting towards the wrong side of 30, right?
Yeah, he's approaching the wrong side of 40.
Agreed. 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 But my question to you is, like, what do you want to see from the 49ers coming up? Because the definitely O
It-
line has to be addressed.
oh, absolutely. I mean, it already needed to be addressed anyway. And
And I have a
a
follow up
lot of
question to this too.
yeah,
So
a lot of what you see a lot of on the first day of the legal tampering period is the big, almost overpay money contracts go out. And then day two, that's when you get a lot of the more stable franchises make their, solid mid-range moves that the Niners have been mostly quiet. They made like one or two signings so far. But for the most part, we're just seeing guys leave, and I expect that they're going to be addressing a lot of these uh, departures through the draft and through like veteran cheaper options in free agency as well. And those are your day two signings. Those are your signings in like within the next week, but not necessarily today, or hell, even tomorrow. Like it could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even like into the weekend. We're gonna keep an eye on what all the major players do and what our teams do. But this is, like the big money stuff. That's the Niners don't have enough space to play in that pool. So
so
it's unfortunate, but I knew a lot of these guys that were free agents were going to be gone. I just it sucks, and I know that I want them to do something. I'm like, come on, do something, like poke them with the stick, but like I get it, and it sucks, and I just so I know they're gonna have to address it through the draft. That's what I know. And what's up, Sam?
I just want to say they need to get the quarterback deal done.
that's what I was
It's
gonna say.
Yeah.
That
I
was my
am
follow up
so
question.
tired. I'm not a 49er fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm so tired of the 49ers front office playing this roulette game of taking
Yeah.
it into the season, and it
Mm-hmm.
backfired with Ayuk, it backfired with Debo, and I
Yeah.
believe it affected the relationships with the coaching staff and the
Hmm.
players in the locker room. I think it
Yeah.
affected the team.
Yeah.
And you're playing this game again with the
Hmm.
quarterback, which is
They
a
clearly went to
slippery
the
slope.
Donald Trump school of negotiating
So
because
so
it's
Get
not
that's
it
working.
done.
that's why I led with that JJ Watt quote. But what I was
Hmm.
gonna ask Vince, and I'm still gonna ask this now that we've kind of
Yeah.
influenced his brain here a little bit.
Right.
Sam, do you think Purdy is worth 50 million a year?
50. My gut reaction is no.
Okay.
If you had said 45, my gut reaction is yes.
I'm saying
Um,
yes.
but
Look at
that's the
mid
cost of
level.
cost of doing business is $50 million
Look
for
at
a,
mid level
yeah,
quarterbacks.
yeah. Mid level
Trevor
quarterbacks are getting
Lawrence.
40. Yeah.
Look at Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence.
exactly.
You
So
I
want
that's
do
the
Trevor
think
cost of
Trevor
Lawrence
doing
Lawrence's
business.
at
contract though. Trevor Lawrence's
what's
contract
that?
kind of messed things up.
Exactly, and that's the point though. Like
But
I don't. Trevor
exactly.
Lawrence isn't worth that contract. Brock Purdy isn't good. Like these guys that are good, not great, um, or have a chance to be great but aren't great yet. Like those guys, like what they're getting paid at right now to be like top line, elite quarterback. Like they're getting that money before they've displayed the true eliteness. Like Brock Purdy is damn good. Okay, don't get me wrong. Don't hear what I'm not saying. And he might end up being worth the 50 million a year. But as we stand right now, I think he's more worth about 45. Like I don't think he's quite there at the 50 level. But because Trevor Lawrence got paid, and it just kind of screwed everything up, you have to pay Brock that much now. So
You got Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared
mhm,
Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray,
mhm,
Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, Josh
mhm.
Allen, Matt Stafford, all making 40 plus million.
So I do want
Yeah.
to put an asterisk on Jalen Hurts, and the reason why I put that there is because yes, he's going to get paid, but it's to 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 make it make sense for anybody who's listening. It's a like the Dodgers how they're doing deferred payments.
Oh, okay.
That's how the Eagles are structuring their contract. So AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, and Zach Bond. Now I know we haven't said it yet, but he's also part of this as well. And Jalen Hurts. They're getting paid, but it's going to be they get paid at the very end. And so what you do at the very end is then you just restructure a deal and you just keep pushing that money down the pipeline. Yes, you're going to have
Right.
to pay them, but it's deferred and it keeps getting
Right.
deferred.
Yeah, it's just going to be like, 3 million on the salary cap until 2048 or something like that for those
Correct.
guys. Yeah.
Correct. And at that
Yeah.
point you get a new player and then you just restructure that on top of that. So it's the school of Howie here basically.
Yeah. It's worked for them so far, so I don't knock it. The Niners used to do that during the Eddie DeBartolo salary cap times. That's how like we were paying Junior Bryant until like 2008 or something like that, and he stopped
Yeah.
playing with the team in 2002 or something like that. So I mean we saw that before.
It basically is going to end once our owner Lori decides to call it quits of being an owner.
Right.
Then that's when they come to
the
roost.
the new guy's gonna tighten down the tighten up the purse strings or whatever, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stupid
yeah.
phrase is. Anyway, more Niners news. Jalen Moore, former 49ers offensive tackle, he made a few starts when Trent couldn't go. He's now going to Kansas City on a 2-year $15 million deal.
Boo.
He's gonna be the starter there. They think it's time for him. The one move the Niners have made so far is Luke Farrell is coming from Jacksonville to the Niners, 3 years, 20 million. He's going to be your backup blocking tight end. He's not really a touchdown type guy. In fact, he has 0 touchdowns in 4 years. But he's the number 2 tight end. He's your backup. He's your but he's also your blocker, and he's going to be your optional fullback should Kyle Juszczyk need a rest or need a breather or something. So, and then Dre Greenlaw is also going to Denver, 3 year, 35 million. And Dre Greenlaw is like when he's able to play, he's the heart and soul of that defense. And that one hurts. That one sucks. Replacing him is going to be a nightmare. And we'll see, man. We'll see how they shake it out from here. I obviously free agency is just now starting, and there's still plenty of moves to be made before you get a full roster. And the Niners have still have, eyes on trying to win a Super Bowl, trying to win the sixth Super Bowl. And losing Greenlaw is not going to help. So that sucks. That makes the job tougher. And good on him for getting his money. And I hope he has a brilliant career in Denver, except the one time every 4 years he has to play the Niners. So may he miss all those tackles that day. I don't know.
Um,
But nothing bad happened. Just like, have a rough one.
but I also forgot to mention because you were saying Jalen Moore going to Kansas City. I'll take this
Mm-hmm.
off here, but the Chiefs also trade Joe Thuney to the Bears for a fourth round pick.
Okay.
All pro, probably going to be a maybe possibly a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, borderline Hall of Fame center. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I can't believe they did that. But hey, you
Mhm.
know what? Their poverty is our win as non-Chiefs fans, right?
Right, exactly. So there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers could be close to signing a deal with the Steelers. If that actually happens, what does that mean for Russ Wilson? Like all of a sudden, like two old men, they're going to be out there in their walkers trying to compete for a starting job at the Steelers. Who can actually, like they have a great coach, a coach that's frankly a little too good.
I'll tell you one thing: whoever's quarterback, they're getting 10 wins.
That's right. 10 wins, baby.
You could book it like
That's right. You chisel that in the goddamn stone, man. Like that is happening.
you
That
could
is a
book it.
10.
You could
Yeah,
book it like Wiggins getting 16 points for the Warriors every night.
that's right. Yeah, that is textbook, baby. Let's see. Linebacker Malik Harrison to Pittsburgh. He's leaving Baltimore. That's 2-year, 10 million. Here's a big trade that happened. Laramie Tunsil and a 2025 fourth round pick are leaving Houston, going to Washington. Houston is getting back 4 different draft picks, a 2025 third and seventh, and a 2026 second and fourth. So that is a huge, huge move. And Houston definitely they're losing a really, really good elite blindside tackle to who's going to now be protecting Jalen. Why am I
Jalen
blanking?
Daniels.
Jalen Daniels. Daniels. I was blanking on his name. I was like, he just took me to the fantasy football championship. I'm a hater. I can't believe I forgot. Anyway, Josh Sweat signs with Arizona 4 years, 76.4. Nate Hobbs to Green Bay, 4 years, 48 million. Um, that's we talked a little bit about the Raiders uh losing players there.
Hobbs
Uh
was awesome when healthy, but he's had injury problems the past few years. He was with the Raiders, so hard to see him go. But availability, the best ability.
yeah. Yeah, Tyler already talked about that. Anyway, let's see. Brandon Stevens to the Jets. He's a defensive back, 3 years, 36 million. Defensive tackle Milton Williams to New England, 4 years, 104 million, 36 million guaranteed. Uh,
Yeah, man.
whew, good
And
money
the
if you can
Eagles.
get it. Ooh.
Yeah, man. He was a third round pick, man. Go get your money, man. The
Mm-hmm.
Eagles they're gonna make some moves, man. Like they don't call it Howie season for no reason. So while I love this, Milton Williams and his story. I love me some Josh Sweat and his signature move when he gets the sack. You know,
Mm-hmm.
these guys won a Super Bowl. They want to get paid, and you earned every right to get paid, man.
That's right. Let's see. Isaiah Rogers to Minnesota, 2 year, $15 million contract.
It's good, good.
Um,
Another Eagle player. That's fine.
that's right. Safety Trayvon Mooring to Carolina, 3 years, 51 million. So that's another one. The Raiders lost him. So yeah, that you know. Whew. Okay, so that's all we have on our list for right now. Let's see. There's still like people. Just any more checks? Anybody else? Any alerts? Let's see. The Patriots have had discussions on trading quarterback Joe Milton III and would like to trade him to the right situation to continue his development in the NFL. Is a report. That's the only thing on my phone that I got. let's see. James Hudson the third is he's an O line player. He's going to the Giants. Yeah, okay. The rest of these is a lot of small time moves
I
that
will
we don't
say
really need to get into.
Washington, the Commanders, and Broncos, they're making waves this free agency on day one. Um,
Yeah.
I think the Broncos are just tired of seeing the Chiefs, just like everybody else is, and I think they know the Raiders are on their way. And I think same with the Commanders, man. They don't want to see the Eagles anymore, and unfortunately the Cowboys are in a situation of hell, and so are the Giants. So I think the Commanders see an opportunity and they're going to take it.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So they're going to be a pain in your ass for the next,
Hmm.
2 or 3 years minimum.
you have him on the Jaden Daniels on the rookie contract. So now's the
Hmm.
time to
Exactly.
spend.
Exactly. Right.